Thanks for staying with us. So hermaphroditism is a rare condition in human of having both male and female reproductive organs. It's a very common in some parts of plant species. Join us on this segment is a patient with this disorder of sexual development to discuss his lifestyle, relationship, work, and all. His name is James Johnson, formerly known as Iyabo Ajibade. Welcome to the show, sir.
Iyabo Ajibade, good morning.
Yes, Iyabo Ajibade, thanks for joining us. Yes, and now we also have a professor, consultant, obstetrician, and gynecologist at the University of Ilorin and the teaching hospital to take us through the causes of this rare occurrence. Good morning, sir. Are you there? We have Professor...
Good morning, presenter. I'm here.
Professor Fawale, welcome to the show, sir. Thank you. So, sir, let me start with the professor. Many Nigerians, it's popularly called, this condition is could you tell us what causes this disorder that happens? And how is it medically, can something medically be done for somebody to choose a sex, or is it something that can be stopped at birth?
Right. Thank you very much for that. Intersex means the person possesses both male and female sexual organs or sexual characteristics. Either way, it is determined at the time of conception. Nobody has any control over it. Naturally, the mother will present chromosomes that are XX, and the father will produce chromosomes that are XY. XY from father, XX from mother. If one X from the father and one X from the mother join and form a baby, baby naturally will be born a girl. X from the mother and Y from the father join together, baby will be formed as a boy. However, in between both of them, something happens, we don't know why, it just occurs. And variations then occur that make a transition between male and female difficult, by what we can say. It's a difficult thing to know. There's no cause. It's just one that occurs like a natural occurrence.
Right.
And because you see the child at birth, and whatever you see between the legs, you say, oh, congratulations, you have a boy. Unless you have a girl. That is what is formed at that time. And that is what determines that. You cannot determine the sex of your child. You cannot determine the sex of anybody. It is determined as a natural occurrence. That is where God is bigger than all of us.
Right. Okay, go ahead.
So the challenge is, I'm sure someone's watching and has probably never heard of this before and is wondering, how can we deal with this when we confront it? As a society, we demonize what we don't know. We worship it or call it a spiritual thing. I would like you to help us address how do we deal with this situation. If a parent finds, if they find themselves facing this as their child, what are they supposed to do? How do they raise that child?
Well, the best way to do it is at that time is that the child is reared at the sex, at the gender that is seen at birth. And many times it goes on like that until mother notices something when the child is peeing, or maybe when they are washing up the child later. And then they start asking questions. At that time, you should go back to the hospital and seek counsel, where tests will be offered. And when the tests then come out, the results will determine where the child is or what the child should be. Sometimes we leave them alone and say, good, let's continue until puberty. Puberty is when menstruation starts for the girl and when the boy starts to have a deep voice. We expect any of this to show in a particular person. Either way, what determines what happens is that point, then determines how to go. Sometimes the gender you are looking at as the sexual orientation is the one that is manifesting, in which case, look, let's just continue along that line. And then if you then worry that it's not exactly what you see, like you see a deep voice in somebody being raised as a girl, or you see somebody being raised as a boy having some menstruation points, or the breast is getting big, that is when you then say, look, let's go back to the hospital. A lot of myths around this. It could be a lot of, like you have said, many beliefs have occurred around, but they don't solve the problem. The problem is that the hospital will determine what we have, and then we start to sit down and plan how to rear the child. which is the easier way that this person can be raised and be an adult. At a particular point, when he becomes an adult, he may then decide to choose what life he wants to live.
Right.
Either he wants to live as a girl or as a boy. Depends on how he has been offered and what he has been doing all along.
Right.
So at every stage, there are points. Some people don't even have anything. They don't show anything. And they say, look, let's leave me alone. Until I get married, I'll determine what I want to be. So there are many stages to approach, but most of the time it's caution, patience, counseling, and then medical. That is what we have.
All right, let me at this point bring in James Johnson, formerly Iyabo Ajibade. James, are you there now?
Yeah, I'm here.
So based on what the doctor said, obviously you at some point decided to be James. You used to be Iyabo Ajibade.
Yeah.
At what point did you decide to choose a sex?
At the age of 19.
Okay.
I went to US for my medical surgery back then in 2004, 5. And I went for the correctional part of the surgery. And since then to date, I've not been able to finalize the surgery to enable me to be a full-blown man because I'm still in need of funds to enable me to carry out the final surgery. Though it hasn't been easy because I know what I've been through, just like what the doctor said, he's perfectly right. Everything he said is just what I'm passing through at the moment, of which all I need is just the support also to enable me to be a full, happy person in life.
Okay.
Life has been ups and downs, not that easy, not too friendly with me, since I decided to be who I am today, because one, my case was loaned to Nigeria back then in 1997 when I was with the Nigerian women national team, the Falcons of Nigeria. At the camp, my case was brought up to the Nigerian Football Federation. And since then, I think they only did the support of me to go and carry out the surgery to enable me to decide the organ I would want to be, either a male or female. Then the support will come from wherever way they want to. But since then to date, since I've been driven out of the national team, in the women national team, the Falcons, Nigerian Football Federation or Nigerian NFA as at that time, all neglected me to carry my faith by myself. No support to date, being neglected like I'm nobody. Even where I tried to manage my life myself, things weren't going well.
Right.
I've been driven out of the place due to the circumstance of being discrimination of a thing.
Right.
So I decided to carry my faith by myself today, whereby I'm still seeking for support from the whole world.
Okay.
To enable me to go on my life.
Let me get a few more questions in. Go ahead, Nim.
James, please, just so that Nigerians will understand exactly, what it is that, what your makeup is. Because many times when it comes to situations like this, it is shrouded in secrecy. Many people do not even know. They cannot identify. They may just look at someone and think, oh, this person may look a bit different from me. Could you explain to us exactly, like when you were growing up, what was it about you that did you feel like a girl? Did you feel confident like a girl? And then you found yourself in puberty at 19, wanting to be a boy. Could you explain that to Nigerians?
Yes. I was born and brought up as a female. As time goes on, getting to know myself gradually to being in the world of football and born and raised as a female, lived my whole life being as a female. While in school, I lived as a female. And after that, my normal way of life, I do every normal thing of a woman, like I wear women's gown, I wear women's skirt, and I put some wig on my head, weave my hair, live my normal pure life as a female, but at the same time, my whole doing in life as a person, I see myself like I'm doing things of more of a male, and at the same time, it's not that funny. So during the time I was called upon to represent Nigeria in the national team to play for Nigeria, with the female clubs I played with, I realized that mostly the things women are doing, I don't have them. I don't have the boobs, and I don't menstruate. I found out that I cannot continue living like this, and I'm raised as a female. It's so contradicting, whereby I cannot really say this is my real identity. So confusing. So from there, when I now got to the national team, representing Nigeria, was when I now realized I think it's the better way for me now to open up to Nigeria, that this is my situation.
Right.
I don't think I can cope with it.
Okay, let me get a few more questions in. Go ahead, Nima.
So, how often does this happen? On a scale of 1 to 10, how often do you have a person turn out to be intersex? And for Joseph, James now.
Yeah.
What exactly was the talk like around you growing up? Did you have family members, sort of suggesting, finding it difficult to accept what you were dealing with? I wanted to know, to see how your childhood was so that we can change mindsets.
As in my childhood living, I actually be raising up as a female, being with the community in my environment those days. Many people find it difficult to believe that I'm a female. Some say I'm a female, some say I'm a male. So the thing is confusing to everybody, whereby you're having both sex organs and you don't really know yourself because the body was just too hard on me as a person. You really break me down in the sense that I cannot really think right for myself. All I'm thinking is I just have to read everything off me. Let me be a perfect person. I just want to live happy person. So I couldn't find it funny, whereby my family are only looking for a way out to get me out of the whole mess of what I'm passing through them.
All right, let me come back to the prof. Nima had a question for the prof.
Yes. How often does this happen on a scale of 1 to 10 in a child?
And also, in addition to Nima's question, how often can this be detected from the womb or until the child comes out?
As soon as I was giving birth to, that's when the case was found.
Okay, Professor.
And the doctor was like...
Yeah. Professor, the question was for you, actually. Prof, are you there?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we're asking. Nima wanted to know how often do we have this kind of disorder, and I wanted to know if it can be detected from the womb.
Firstly, it is not a common condition. It occurs rarely. It cannot be detected from the womb. It can only be detected through observations, the careful looking at the in between the legs of the child and watching the child grow every time until puberty. It doesn't show us anything. It has no illness part of it. It doesn't come with any other thing. It's just like Mr. Johnson said, it's a mental state that is just a big burden on them. And when you then notice a child not happy, we may then ask a few things about the personal issues. It cannot be prevented. It cannot be detected in the womb. No, it can't.
So, Doctor, please, could you tell us how, I mean, listening to James now, I feel really sad because this sounds like someone that's not happy. Is there a way to raise a child as parents when the child is a baby, when you give birth to this baby and is growing up? Is there a way to raise this child to be a happy child, to be wholesome, until the person now gets to an age where they can decide to make the change that they, prefer to choose? Is there a way, are there things that we need to do as parents, as friends, as schools, as community to help raise a child like this to be happy?
Yeah. Well, the major thing for them is the emotional burden they have. Firstly, the parents always love their child. So every mother, father will love the child and raise the child, hopefully within the premise of the house in a happy environment. Or the child has to worry, has to move out, relate with friends and community, and that is where the issue comes from. Our community is very, very open. We ask questions and we're inquisitive. We notice the child not looking well, we say this and that. The best way for it is to talk to the child quite often when they come back from playing or from school and all that, and ask what are the issues that happen. That may help the parents to go further and seek help with counselors, in the school, in the hospital, the community people. Okay. So that an understanding is a net that is made around the child, and the child will be happy all through.
Thank you very much, Professor.
Time when he decides, look, this is what I want to be.
Right. Let me come to James.
It's a big effort.
Right.
Or the parents are having a lot to play.
Thank you very much, Professor. Let me come to James. Please forgive my ignorance. I mean, I am not very informed in this area. Help me. You mentioned something about your surgery. Surgery for what exactly? Is it to have the male organ inserted or removed, or to have, what exactly are you hoping surgery to do? I want to be clear, please.
Yeah, this is where I'm going now at the moment. I need the final surgery to carry out to enable me to become a full-blown man. How? Because I choose to be a male after everything that I left the women world to become a male. And since then, I've done 2 phases of the surgery, but I need the last 2 phases of the surgery to finalize everything to make me to become a full-blown man, because now I'm finding it difficult to be a father at the moment because I'm yet to round up the surgery.
Right. Okay. I hope that gives some clarity. Okay. Thank you very much, James. So obviously, your final words towards the fact that you need some support in this surgery to help you to become a full-blown man, and we hope that the Nigerians are hearing today and can come to your aid for that. Well, thank you very much for sharing your story with us. Thank you also, Professor, for joining us this morning, Professor Fawole from the University of Ilorin. Thank you very much for joining us. Okay, that's all we can take on the show today. Thank you very much, ladies. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.